Good morning everyone, and welcome to the webinar on 6 habits of successful speakers. Peter Dew's my name, and my passion is helping people become more confident, more effective, more influential as a speaker, as a presenter, as someone that gets before a group of people and educates and facilitates. And one of the ways of improving our public speaking skills, our presentation skills, is to watch other people, to look at YouTube clips, TED Talks, go to other conferences and presentations. What is it that those successful speakers do that makes them so successful? And that's my aim for today, to just unlock some of the common threads, the common themes that move all the way through those successful presentations. And I think if you were to harness these habits, you would straight away find yourself being more effective and more influential as a speaker. All right. So how to participate in the webinars? Please ask questions as we go. You have that little dialogue box. Don't wait for me to ask. Are there any questions at any time? You can just type in your comments, your questions. Take notes as we go. I do record these webinars, so if you miss something, you can email me. You can ask me the question after the webinar, or you can review the recording. So participate by adding your comments and your thoughts, and most importantly, think about the application. So in a previous workshop, a previous seminar that you've run where you've spoken, would have you done anything different as a result of what I'm sharing with you today? And you can look forward. So you've got a workshop, a presentation, a wedding speech coming up. Is there anything that you will do differently in planning this new presentation to make your next presentation more effective? So it's about applying the learning. If I just talk to you all day and you don't apply some of the learning, then it's been a little bit of a waste of time. And I'm into purpose-driven conversations. I'm having this conversation with the people on the webinar with the aim of giving you something to take your presentation to the next level. All right, let's get started. The first thing, the first habit that great speakers do is they do exceptional preparation. Robert Schuller said spectacular performance is always preceded by spectacular preparation. So you know those people that you admire that seem to do really well all the time, come across confidently. It could be that they've done amazing levels of preparation. So the first level of preparation is around knowing your audience. It's about knowing who's in the room. What issues are there for them? Are there any cultural nuances you need to be aware of? What are the problems that are facing them? Are there any people in the room that may be not in line with your way of thinking? They may be a little bit against you. They may be some knockers or some doubters. Are you ready to handle those objections, those difficult questions? It's about knowing your audience. And if your topic is one that's going to cause concern, maybe you're reducing funding, you're reorganizing, downsizing, doing something that you know that's going to cause some issues for that audience, then have all your questions prepared. Anticipate those tricky questions. In terms of your audience, what level should you dress at? Are they going to be dressed in suits and ties? Are you speaking to lawyers and chartered accountants? Or is it just a casual workplace where if you wear a suit and a tie, you will be overdressed? Are there any cultural nuances you need to be aware of? You know, if someone hands you a business card, and they hand you the business card with two hands. Please don't reach out with one hand and grab it, which is disrespectful. Make sure that you receive the business card with two hands. This is about your cultural awareness. This is about knowing your audience. What I say is you need to walk 30 moons in your enemy's moccasins before you understand them. And that's meant to say moons, 30 moons. Walk in your audience's footsteps. Do a cultural audit. Do an issues audit. Google the organization. What's their values? What's their mission? All of that is around knowing your audience. Know your topic. Know your topic so well that you can plug and play. Plug and play means you can deliver your content in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, regardless. Let's say the speaker before you, you're speaking in a conference and there's 2 or 3 speakers before you and everyone's gone over time and you're the last speaker, and the audience, the conference organizer asks you, Peter, can you please cut your time down by 15 minutes to bring the conference back on track? Are you able to do that? Are you able to do that? Or the speaker before you doesn't turn up and the conference organizer says, can you stretch for an extra 15 minutes? Do you know your topic so well that you can deliver that material? The other one is, what if the audio visual breaks down? What if the AV, the PowerPoint doesn't work? What if the power goes out? What if a DVD or a video you wanted to play just does not play? What if you were hoping to use the internet and you just can't connect? Can you still deliver your content without that technology? This webinar I cannot deliver without technology. If the internet goes down, I lose you, the show does not go on. However, in most of my presentations, if the power goes out, I still can deliver my workshop using flip charts, using a whiteboard. If I can't play my video, it doesn't matter. I can still carry on because I know my content, I know my topic so well. So this is about knowing your topic really well so that you can, what I call, plug and play. Let me just change this. So we call this plug and play. What it means is that really you can go anywhere in the world in any length of time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, with AV equipment, or maybe the AV doesn't work, and you can still have the same impact regardless. That's knowing your topic really well so that you can be impactful, persuasive, influential, get your message across regardless. Know your venue. Arrive early. Walk on the platform. Get an idea of the lighting. Is there any areas where if there's too much light or not enough light, you'll be invisible on the stage? Will your voice carry to the back of the auditorium, or do you need a microphone? What sort of microphone do you have? Do you have a lapel microphone, or do you have a handheld microphone, or do you have a headset, a Madonna microphone? Not with the big headset like this, but those ones that you sit over the ear, and that enables you to move and use the platform freely. What you need to do is you need to arrive early and make that space your own. The venue, you need to own it. There's a saying within public speaking, you or me as the presenter, we are the custodian of our audience's experience. In other words, if the room's too cold, too hot, too small, too dark, too noisy, the audience assigns us as the presenter as being responsible for that experience. You are responsible for the experience your audience has in that room. So make sure you arrive early. And last one, it's around knowing the issues, the emotions. I briefly touched on that. Are they going to be angry? Are they going to be unhappy? Is it a popular topic? Is it bad news you're delivering? If you know all of this beforehand, what you're doing is you're anticipating difficult questions. You're anticipating the audience reaction, and you've already scripted and worked out how you're going to deal with that. So spectacular performance really does come from spectacular preparation. That's the habit number one. The second habit is great speakers, they speak extemporaneously without notes. They don't read from a set of notes. They don't read off their PowerPoint slides. They just speak from that internal knowledge, that internal experience, and any PowerPoint slides like today are just an audio-visual aid for you guys out there. One of the most disrespectful things that someone can do is to read from a script word for word, or read off their PowerPoint slides the bullet points one by one. It's important to understand that your PowerPoint and your prepared notes are not your teleprompter. You're not reading the news. People like speakers that just go with the flow. They can tell the energy of the room. They know how to change pace. They know how to stop and take questions, or take a step back and understand that not everyone is going to agree with what they're saying. This is because they're speaking what we call extemporaneously. Please understand, this is not spontaneously, which is off the cuff. This is so well prepared that they can just go with the flow, and I probably cannot spell this right, spontaneously. Now, it's not learning a script. It's not, okay, you don't want me to have notes, Peter, so I'm going to learn my script word for word. It's not about learning a script. It's about knowing within yourself, your structure, the 3 points you're going to deliver, the stories you're going to share with the person, so that you can speak extemporaneously. Not spontaneously. Spontaneously is off the cuff. Job interviews, where you speak from your experience and your knowledge. You don't read your written answers, and it's not really off the cuff because you've done preparation. That would be speaking extemporaneously if you're well prepared for a job interview. That's kind of what you need to do with your prepared presentation. It's not from a script. It's not from bullet points from a PowerPoint slide. It's knowing your content so well that you can just go with it. All right. Tip number 3. They always put the audience first. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about you guys. It's about the people that listen to me, the men and the women in the room. Why do you care about what I'm saying? If you don't care about what I'm saying, then I must be a stand-up comedian. And clearly I'm not funny. So I have to give you something. It's about what's in it. What's in it for you? What's in it for your audience? If you're going to tell stories or you're going to share stories, and by all means, do use your stories. Make sure you make the audience the hero. Too many people tell stories about themselves and their successes and how I overcame my adversity or my difficulty and how I'm really good. That's not what people want. The story needs to have a point, And the audience needs to go out thinking, oh, I can do that. I see the way forward. I now can see light at the end of the tunnel, and you make your audience the hero. You empower your audience to go out and make a difference. And when I talk about writing and preparing a presentation, it's really about working out, what do you want your audience to do at the end? What outcome do you want your audience to have? And this is about empowering your audience to move forward, to overcome adversity, to meet their key performance indicators, to resolve some problem in their life. Put the audience first. Excuse me, put the audience first. Public speaking is not about you. It's about the audience. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment. Are there any questions at this stage? Any comments? All right, thanks, Steve. What if you have to teach the audience something that they really don't want to learn, that's not important to them, and really they don't care? In other words, what you're saying is they don't care. I guess if I was really blunt, they don't care, it doesn't matter to them. Why are you presenting it to them? And it's probably because you've been told, or it's an organizational requirement. One thing that I know, and I work a bit with mining, with Rio, Chevron, oil and gas, and BHP. Health and safety, OH&S, is one of those things that is considered a boring presentation. And the people in OH&S inductions, every 12 months they're re-inducted, think this is boring, I already know it, why do I have to have it? So the audience, one could say the audience doesn't care. But what the presenter needs to say is that in actual fact this presentation is about you going home every night safe and sound, in one piece, to your family, to your loved ones, to your children, so that you can hug your kids, tell your partner you love them. It's about getting you home safe and sound. That is what's in it for them. It's the old classic marketing thing, WWIFM, what's in it for me? Not you the presenter, but me the audience. What's in it for me? And if you answer that, people are going to love you. So often the art of putting the audience first is working out what the what's in it for me is for the audience. Like health and safety, boring, but need to do it. The idea is you go home safe. Each night you go home safe in one piece. So great speakers have the habit of putting the audience first. Thanks for that question, Steve. Moving on. Habit number 4. They come away from the lectern. It takes courage to leave the lectern. It takes courage to come away from here and stand in the middle of the room, like this gentleman is here. When I stand behind the lectern like this, no, let me go the other way. When I stand out and move across the platform, and I don't have to move much, with no barriers, there's no barriers in front of me, what I'm saying to you is I trust you guys. I think you're worth it. I'm prepared to let you have all of me. You can have 100% of me. I didn't always open up my video camera, so you're looking at me and you can see my bald head, my big nose, my big ears, my pimples, my warts, my grey beard. You can have all of me. I think that you are worth it. I'm prepared to take the risk for you guys. when I stand out in the front like this. Here, I'm going to stand behind the lectern. In fact, I'm going to hang on to the lectern. And what I'm saying is, I don't think you're worth it. You can't have 100% of me. Nope, you can only have 60% of me or 50% of me. It takes courage to come out from behind the lectern with no barriers, no tables in front of you. And great speakers do come out from behind the lectern. And if people say, but I'm data projecting, or there's a PowerPoint slide, this guy could be PowerPointing here, you can black the slide. You just hit B for black, and then you can leave the lectern and come out and stand in the middle of the room. So I'm not saying don't use the lectern. I'm saying at some stage, come out and have that adult discussion with no barriers between you and the audience. Now I've just got a question. Do I have a tip for delivering to your supervisors or line managers? My tip is really quite simple. You probably speak to your line managers over the telephone or maybe one-on-one, face-to-face in the office. They may come into your office, you may go into their office with a problem, and they ask you a question, so how are we going to solve this? And you take the same persona, the same attitude when you're speaking to a group of managers as a presentation. So don't change the paradigm. The one-on-one conversation that you have, and I'll use the word conversational, is exactly what you do when you're speaking one-to-many. So conversational one-on-one, 1 to 100, you still do conversational. One of the things with your presentation to one-to-many is that you want each one of those 100 people to walk out of the room thinking you've had a conversation with them. Oh, Peter was just talking to me. And you do that with your eye contact. This is clearly not conversational. This looks more conversational. The guys, they're having a chat to the people in the room and each of them are engaged. And so I think, and let me take it a step further, Tiffany, and thanks for asking this question. When you're speaking to your colleagues or even your subordinates, when you go upwards to your supervisors and your managers, you should still be the same. It's just being authentic and genuine. So who you are off stage needs to be who you are on stage. Now, certainly you need to prepare. You need to know your content. And if it's you're doing a new policy or you've done some research and the managers want you to speak on that new topic, you need to be the expert, and they'll ask you questions that maybe you don't know, but you'll know how to find out. And it's just about being authentic and having a conversational. So they would be my 2 tips for managers. Be conversational, be authentic. Don't amplify it up just because of their status. Be you. Be you exactly as if they came into your office and said, hey, Peter, what's your view on this? So great question. So the next tip number 5, they are passionate, excited, and pleased to be there. Really important that you are pleased to be there and you are passionate about your topic. If you don't believe in what you're saying, your non-verbals, your facial expressions, your attitude, then they won't believe you. They won't believe your message. Yes, I know it's work. I know it's only occupational health and safety, but you want to be excited, pleased to be there, and passionate about your topic. You've got to conjure up that passion from within. If not, maybe you're not the right person to present that message. If you couldn't care less, I'm just doing this because I've been told to do it, that will come through in your non-verbals. That'll come through in your attitude, and people won't buy your message. You got to find the passion. They believe 100% in their own message. So this is conviction in your own message. Absolute conviction. The first sale must be to you. If you don't believe in what you're saying, why would anyone else believe in what you're saying? And your actions in life, i.e. walking the talk, must be congruent with the talk. I talk the talk, but I also walk the talk. So people, when they attend my seminars, when I speak at conferences, will understand that I'm really congruent with my message. So first sale to yourself, be 100% aligned with what you're saying. If there's a new policy that you have to roll out in work and you don't like it, you think it's a silly policy, how are you going to sell that policy to your staff members? If you think this is crazy, how are you going to sell it? Why would I buy that off you, that message, if you don't have conviction in your own message? So really important. That's where you see the passion and the congruency and the conviction come through in great speakers. There's no question. They're not faking it. They're not making up a position. They are aligned with their values, with their message. You need to do that. Just a bonus tip, have clarity of purpose. And I said this in writing presentations, what do you want people to do afterwards? And I talk about a purpose-driven presentation. You can do scattergun, where you hit and miss, you say lots of stuff and hopefully some of it will stick. But then different people will walk out with different key messages and you won't have had the impact, that narrow on message, clarity of purpose impact that you want. So make sure that you have a clear understanding of the outcome you want. You know what you want the audience to do next, or that message is what I call unequivocal. It's on the money, it's without a doubt. So summing up, the 6 habits of highly successful speakers. They do exceptional preparation. They speak extemporaneously without notes. Their PowerPoints, their flip charts are audio-visual aids. They come from an audience perspective. They put the audience first. They don't hide behind barriers. They are passionate, excited, and pleased to be there. And they believe in their own message 100%. They believe in their own message. If you just start to do 1 or 2 of these things as a presenter, your ability to engage and influence your audience will increase significantly. So that's the end of the webinar. Soft sell. Next webinar, 15th of June, a checklist to ensure your presentations are a success. I mentioned about preparation. Part of it is knowing your room, but what do you need to know within that room? This checklist will help you tick everything else off. Workshops coming up in Perth, Bunbury, in Adelaide, Port Hedland. Tiffany, I know you're from Port Hedland. I know that my wife, Violet, and Kyla, who run Pilbara Women in Leadership, have done 2 Women in Leadership masterclasses in Karratha, one last year and one in March this year. They're coming up in November and are going to test the Port Hedland market. This will be a women-only workshop, people. So keep an eye out for that. And Broome in October, Difficult Conversations, Winning Presentation Skills. If you know of anyone who might be interested in workshops, please feel free to share. You know how to reach me. I will answer any questions via email. As I said, I do record the webinars. And just remember, do your preparation. Don't rely too much on your notes. Be audience focused. It's about the audience. Have the courage to get away from your desks and your lecterns. Stand out in the middle of the room. Be excited, pleased to go, and be pleased to be there. That's about the passion. And finally, own your own message. Be 100% congruent with your own message. Thank you for participating, and